G'day team, welcome back to the channel. Finally back out in the bush. Haven't been able to do too many trip videos recently just because we got baby very close to being born and can't go too far from home. But I thought I'd just get out and at least do something in the bush. So I thought I'd just go out and do a bit of a firewood trip, see what happens along the way. Out here where I am, this little spot, there's a few little decent little bits for a bit of fun, a few drop-ins, a few places to get flexed up and things like that. So yeah, we'll have a bit of a look around, see if we can grab some decent firewood, take that home, and yeah, see where we end up. As you can see, there's a few little ins and outs around here. It's just a matter of I've sort of come out here every couple of years, and it's always a little bit different. Heaps of grubs around, as you can see, unfortunately. But yeah, it's pretty shit. It's quite close terrain out here, and there is some real sketchy bits actually. In fact, some of these bog holes out here, you really need to check. A few years ago, I actually wrote a car off. It was brand new, I had no winch, and yeah, got hung up in what I thought was just a puddle, and it was stuck there for like half an hour. Even with the breathers, water still seeped through the seals into the gearbox eventually, and anyway, long story short, ended up being a statutory write-off because of water damage. So even though the car was seemingly fine, yeah, a bit of a shit situation. It's amazing how much these little spots change. This used to be really steep. It's all flattened out now, but little creek crossing down there. Just thinking, is this where we stopped for lunch on the way back? We've got some on-track meals to cook up. I'll show you how we do those. Nice and easy, nice and quick, no stuffing around. It's so washed out. Probably not a lot of activity other than bikes since COVID. So you know, people in 4-wheel drives have come through there because they've built it up a bit with logs, but the Jeep shouldn't have an issue. We'll just take it easy with these logs just here, and yeah, because I don't want to puncture the tyres, so they might even make some decent firewood actually. So we'll have a close look when we get through. Just keeping an eye out for some decent logs to chop up. While we're plodding around here. So this looks alright. We'll pull over and get in it with the chain here and see what it's like. I just realised I forgot to bring my glasses, so it'll be a case of don't do what I do. Okay, so some people might say, well, what are you doing with an electric chainsaw? And that's fair enough. So, I mean, I'm not an expert with a chainsaw. I'm not going to be cutting here for hours or any of that sort of stuff. It's, for me, just does the job cutting up firewood. That's all I really need, and maybe a few logs to clear off any tracks. So nothing too heavy duty. This is just the Ryobi 18 bolt brushless. It's the biggest one I could get an 18 bolt. 18 bolt because the rest of my cordless tools are 18 bolt. So I've got a few other cordless tools in there, like a wrench and a few other things that use the same battery. I just carry one battery and a charger in the car, and it saves me carrying fuel and a heavier chainsaw and whatnot. So that's why I've got that. And just going to cut up a few lengths just so it fits on the roof. I'll strap it down and then I'll cut the rest up when I get home. So that's kind of my firewood solution. Okay, that'll probably do for now. We'll get this loaded up on the roof. I've got heaps more firewood at home, so there's no need to go too crazy. Yeah, we'll get this loaded on the roof and we'll go and stop back at that creek for lunch, and then we'll head home. Okay, so we'll just talk our way through this descent. Now, as you can see, nice and slowly easing our way down. Now you notice that as the vehicle starts to tip into some of these ruts, when it starts to feel a little bit unstable, I steer into the rut and steer into the way the vehicle's leaning. That'll help to maintain stability, and if something does go pear-shaped and the vehicle does start to lean too far, just a short squeeze of the accelerator will stabilise the truck and help to flatten it back out. Now these logs can be a bit of a catch-22. Yes, they can give you more clearance, but as you can see there's a risk of them flicking up, not just to the side of the vehicle but obviously also the underside of the vehicle. So just taking it nice and slow, keeping an eye on those logs, making sure they don't do any damage.
Now you hear a lot of talk about people not using their brakes on descents. That's incorrect. What's important is you maintain control. Now control could mean a variety of things, controlling your brake, steering and throttle, and also being aware of the terrain, using the terrain to your advantage sometimes. For instance, you might better ease the load on the brakes by pushing the wheel up against the side of a rut, causing more rolling resistance. Now again, you'll see that I steer into the direction the vehicle's leaning until the vehicle stabilises. I know it won't lean any further, and then I'll drive out of it.
Okay, for some reason that just felt way more sketchy coming down than what it did going up, so but it is what it is. One thing I always carry, especially if it's warm, it's not super hot, but it is sort of sweaty work, but it's just some sparkling water. Perfect for cooling down a bit. Okay, this is today's lunch. It actually says all day breakfast, but I'll run you through it. So this company, On Track Meals, are a veteran-owned company. So the reason why I actually approached them, and I said, look, I want to give your meals a try and promote them on the channel a bit. These are awesome, and they're basically what they are is they're not dehydrated meals. They come from the hiking industry, but they're not dehydrated. So all you have to do is just boil some water, chuck them in the pot, warm it up, and it's ready to eat. This one here is all day breakfast, and I'm not spinning BS. It is honestly like a taste explosion when you eat this. It is awesome. So just what's in it is chunks of chorizo, smoked bacon, mushies, red kidney beans, garlic and herbs. So yeah, I'll show you how these work. Right, so all you got to do is just get some water boiling. Okay, so all we do, once it's boiling, without burning yourself, just get the whole packet, dump it straight in there. Let that boil for about sort of 3 to 5 minutes, and then it'll be ready to eat. Pluck it straight out. Now you can eat it straight out of the packet if you want, otherwise just pour it straight into a bowl. This is like in Seinfeld with the soup Nazi. You got to sit down to eat it. It is honestly so good. This massive chunk of chorizo. Oh. If you're still in the army, it'd make a mad jackrabbit. I'll leave a link to On Track Meals down in the description. Check them out. Try them out. anyway, that's brekkie done. We've got our firewood. We'll head up out of this gully, head home, and yeah, we'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget, do me a favour, if you're enjoying the content, click the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next episode.